Hello everybody, today we are going to discuss a lament by P.B. Shelley, that is Percy Bysshe Shelley. So you know very well that P.B. Shelley is known to be a revolutionary poet, a romantic poet, and the lyrical quality of his poem is known all over the world, and he is famous for the lyrical quality or the musical quality, I should say, of his poems. There is always a musical appeal in his poems, and the famous works by him are, say, Ode to West Wind, to a Skylark. These two lyrics are really quite popular, and they are prescribed in all the UG and PG courses in so many universities all over the world. So these are say some of the very special qualities of his poems, or of P.B. Shelley as a poet. So, and his views, actually his ideas, influenced 3-4 generations after him, especially his views on non-violence. And I should say he wrote some treatises, or say some essays on such kind of things, and his views influenced Leo Tolstoy, which ultimately influenced Mahatma Gandhi, which influenced Martin Luther King as well. So he influenced people with his views and opinions, though his works were not much popular during his lifetime. He lived only for 30 years, was born in 1792 and died in 1822, only for 30 years, but and even in that short life he could compose very beautiful lyrics, which are which of course I should say speak for his greatness, speak volumes for his greatness even today. And so in this particular poem, a lament, as the name itself suggests, that poet is lamenting, that is grieving. So it's an expression of grief. He is mourning and wailing over something. So this poem is an expression of grief. Now that sad tone is there in the other poems written by Shelley as well. That in Ode to West Wind, the poem starts, or the lyric starts, on a melancholy note. But the thing is, in other poems, this sad note ultimately converts into an optimistic note. There is a sense of optimism, a sense of positiveness, a sense of hopefulness at the end of the poem. But here, the whole poem remains melancholy. The melancholy tone, the depressive tone runs all through the poem, and it ends on the same note. So there is no turn or twist in the tone, there is no shift of tone here all through the poem. It's a very short lyric, I should say an elegiac lyric it is, of 2 stanzas only. There are total 10 lines, and these 10 lines are divided into 2 parts, 2 stanzas of 5 lines each. And the meter is iambic meter. Iambic foods have been used here. So iambic meter is used, iambic foods have been used here, and the rhyme scheme is A B A B. This is the rhyme scheme used here in this poem, and the musical quality as usual is there in this poem as well, for which Shelley is known. So that quality is here, but the only thing is, this is completely an expression of depression and sadness which is running through here in this poem. So let's see how he is expressing that idea, what he is lamenting at. So this is perhaps a lamentation of the gone glory, the bygone happy time and happy moments. This is a lamentation of that, and perhaps a sense of coming, we can say, or growing despair, a sense of growing loss is perhaps acknowledged or sensed or felt by the poet, and that has found a profound and, we can say, a very solid expression here in this poem. The other quality that I should of course talk of is that in his poem always there is he talks of something abstract. An abstract quality is there, which is always more than, or which is always predominant in his poem, more than any substantial thing or any concrete thing. So this poem too is no exception for that. Of course, a sense of abstraction is there in this poem. So let's see how he is conveying here in this poem. O world, O life, O time. So in the very first line there is, I should say, apostrophe. And apostrophe, you know, is a poetic device in which non-living thing or abstract things are addressed. So that is apostrophe. Now they are treated as if they are present, they are living, they are animate. So in that way they are treated, but the difference comes is between personification and apostrophe, because in personification as well the non-living things are treated as living, and they are given body and form, they are given humanly qualities. The only difference between personification and apostrophe is, in apostrophe we address those things. And here the poet is addressing in the very first line that O world, O life, O time, on whose last steps I climb. So here the poet is perhaps sensing what as if he is on the last steps of this world, last step of time and last step of life. So there is a growing despair in him, as if like to the end of life and to the end of everything he is heading for, or he is going towards all such that there is perhaps now it would be no more of anything for him. So that thing, that gloom, I should say, that sense of sorrow is there in this poem, is inbuilt in this poem, and trembling at that where I had stood before. So now he is at the last step perhaps of all these, and he is trembling, he is quivering, he is shivering, looking at the bygone days, the days of glory, the days which were full of splendor and glory and all the good things, all the joys and happiness. So he is looking back, and looking back at all those things, he trembles, he quivers, and he feels that now it won't be there for him again. Those days won't be back. So he says, when will return the glory of your prime? No more, oh, nevermore. So first he finds that he is on the last step, that all those gloriful things, the bygone happiness is all gone, and then he realizes that they will never be again. The prime time when he enjoyed all those things, when he enjoyed all the happiness. So that prime time won't be back. He is trembling looking at all those times and all those days, imagining and just living in the say reverie of that, and then he feels but the time won't be back. He won't be able to live that time again. He won't be able to enjoy all those glories, all those happiness again. So utter, say, a complete depression is there in this poem, thinking of the poet thinking of all those times. And then in the next stanza, the next 5 lines, so the rhyme, as I said, it is time and climb, A, then before, B, then again prime, A, and then more, that is B. So I should say, as I said, A, B, A, B. So this is the rhyme he is following here in this poem, all through the poem. In the next stanza, in the next 5 lines, and again one more thing I have written here, it is iambic foods that he is using here. And iambic food means a pattern of weak and strong syllable, unstressed or stressed syllable. So that metrical pattern is being used here in this poem, right? So now the second part or the second stanza is, out of the day and night a joy has taken flight. It means now his days and nights are bereft of all kind of joy. Now he is deprived, or like all that has been taken away from his life. The joys, the happiness, the delight has been taken away from his life, and there is a void perhaps in the life. It is devoid of all that happiness or all such delight. It is such fresh spring. So you might have noticed so far the other quality, that is the musical quality of Shelley's poem, that there is always a music. Liquid consonants are too much used. Liquid consonants means L and M. These are called liquid consonants, and they are used too much in his poem. So that musical quality has been maintained in this poem as well. And what he is saying, that joy has passed away. Now there is no joy in his life. He is steeped in gloom, steeped in sorrow. He is having such a period of his time, such a phase of his time is there. And fresh spring and summer and winter, or. Now this or means what? It means that in winter season it's all foggy, dewy, snowflakes cover the land and all. So that appears to be what grayish and such, and that is what or is. So that foggy atmosphere, that unclear dewy atmosphere, so that is called or. So winter or, that's what the poet is saying. So now these seasons which used to attract him, which used to delight him, which made him quite happy and delectable, that with the each passing season, each passing time would fill his heart with a kind of joy. But now they no more bring any joy to him. These seasons are simply just taking him a step further into sorrow, just leading him ahead into grief and further problems only. So there is like a total movement towards grief and sorrow, and so a sense of pathos runs through this poem, that there is utter, we can say, utter gloom and sorrow here, utter bafflement, that where he is leading to and where we has come from. The joys of the past are no more, the happiness of the past is no more, and he is slowly and gradually he is just moving towards more sorrow, and he is grieving over that, he is lamenting over that. And then he says, move my faint heart with grief, but with delight no more, oh, nevermore. So these seasons which used to fill his heart with delight, now no more. They no more gives him happiness. They perhaps will never be able to provide him happiness in life any further. They only move his heart with grief. Means they only take him further into grief, into that atmosphere of gloom and sorrow only, and he is that much, we can say, steeped in sorrow. He is that much in the atmosphere of sorrow, that he is lamenting and lamenting and lamenting, and he is unable to come out of that. He is only trembling, looking at the past, the beautiful past that was there and he enjoyed, and now he feels only gradually moving towards that complete sorrow and melancholy. So the tone right from the beginning to the end is melancholy. There is no shift of tone to pessimism, to optimism, to sadness, to happiness. There is no such shift of tone or change in tone, which is there in the other poems by P.B. Shelley. But here we don't find any such shift or turn or twist or change. But yes, the other qualities of Shelley's poems are here in this one as well. That musical quality is there, lyrical quality is there, it's a lyric. So all that is there, but the only difference is that melancholy, the sadness, which runs through the whole poem. So I hope you might have understood the poem. I'll come with more such poems by different writers, different poets. So keep watching. Till then, thank you very much.